The anime opens with Alicia Royal, princess, observing a place totally destroyed by a tornado that had passed through this place last year. Two horse women appear on their horses and say they have found a nearby village where they could spend the night, but Alicia refuses to go, not wishing to cause trouble for the villagers, so she chooses to camp in a cave with various unknown drawings and symbols in which she arouses the princess's interests. Among the drawings in this cave there is a specific drawing in which Alicia identifies with the shepherd, a legendary person who holds great powers. Alicia is delighted and says that whether he exists or not she would love to meet him. The next day, upon returning to her kingdom, Alicia summons Clem to question whether her uncle was a doctor in Greil, to which the girl confirms. The princess begins to explain that Professor Drake, an astronomer, reported that a strange mist had appeared. Alicia asks Clem to find out if anyone has any reports of health problems caused by this suspicious fog that will rise. Clem accepts the mission and sets off in search of information. After a meeting, Alicia goes to Professor Drake to observe the mist that had appeared. The mist was getting much stranger and could even mean a horrible omen. 2 weeks later, Alicia goes to Grill to find Clem, who has not brought her any news regarding this mysterious mist, which worried the princess a lot, forcing her to go and find Clean. On the way, Alicia and her soldiers are attacked by very skilled assassins, and the confrontation between them is intense. Alicia manages to cut off the mask of one of these assassins, appearing to be a human, but suddenly his body and face begin to transform, revealing him to be Aham. After receiving an order from a person Hayama called Master, he backs out of the battle, telling the princess that they would soon meet again. Sometime later they manage to reach the village covered by the Black Thought. They go to the guard station to check if Clem is there, but without success. Alicia receives information that Clem has gone into the forest to the north into the mist. Alicia and her group go to the forest in the north, managing to find a camp where gleam was a large amount of black mist begins to approach the ground, destroying everything around. They decide to retreat to get away from the mist. However, Professor Drake was going down a nearby ravine to study about the ley line. He collects some of this mysterious energy and starts to follow the direction in which this energy was going. Drake encounters a large dragon that was feeding on this energy, causing the balance of the world that the ley line established to be disrupted by having the energy constantly sucked out by this creature. At the top, Alicia and her group were running from the windstorm caused by the black mist until a young girl appears using black magic against them in an attempt to take their lives one by one. The people she met in Curie Land, their companions, are swallowed up by the tornado, leaving Alicia alone facing the girl with dark powers until the Hayama, who tried to take Alicia's life earlier, appears, but this time to help her, confronting this girl with dark powers, causing even more destruction and hindering Alicia's escape. After a short battle, the girl gives up fighting, losing interest, so she leaves that place, allowing Hayama and Alicia to each go their own way. As she wanders, she comes across an ancient ruin, so she stands at the entrance of this ruin to take shelter from the rainy night. During the day, when the ruin was more visible, she can see a drawing on the wall of this temple that arouses her interest. The drawing was of a hero wielding a sacred weapon, referring to the Dosi legend that there was a seraphim, capital A, sacred place located on the highest peak in the world. In this legend it says that Daoshi goes to earth along with her seraphim, who will help her purify the world of darkness, bringing peace to humans. She is then attacked by a huge swarm of insects through an internal construction in the temple. Alicia manages to escape the bugs and enter a huge corridor in which she recognizes as another ruin of Asgard. Through this corridor she manages to reach the celestial capital, but was still in the same ruin as before, searching for a way out. Around this time, Sari, a young human who resides in a limb home of the seraphim, and Mikleo, a young seraphim, also arrive at the ruins. The pair has a hard time getting into the ruins until they find Alicia lying unconscious amidst the debris. The duo saves the princess, thanks her, and asks her name. Then Alicia asks if Sari was Dosi, also known as the shepherd, leaving Sari and Mikleo impressed and curious about Alicia. Sari replies that he is just a simple human, which leaves Alicia disappointed, since this This was supposed to be the ruins that the shepherd was supposed to be in, meaning that it was nothing more than a legend. Moved by the story of the young princess, Sari decides to take Alicia, the young girl he meets in the ruins, to Achi. Mikleo is bothered by the idea of taking a human to the Seraphim village, but Sari simply cannot ignore someone in me. During this dialogue we realize that it takes place in Sari's vision. When the scene changes to the way Alicia was seeing this event, we realize that Mikleo was not there, demonstrating that only Sari has the ability to see the Seraph. Even Mikleo is amazed that he does not have the same ability as his friend to see it. When they reach Achi, even though Alicia can't really see the Seraphim, she makes a plea for them to help her succeed in destroying the darkness, but her pleas seem not to be heard. It is because the Seraphim believe that the humans will bring calamity to their land. During the night, Sari and Alicia begin to talk about the young princess. Sari is impressed that she lives in the capital of Highland, a place where there is the legendary sacred sword that is protected by the Lady of the Lake. Whoever wielded the sword would become the shepherd. The next day, after showing her a little about the Seraphim village, Sari decides to take Alicia to the ruins again and shows her a discovery he made during the day he saved her, giving her the shepherd's crest, causing Alicia to regain her hopes again. Sometime later, Alicia leaves the Seraphim village, saying her name to Sari, introducing herself as Alicia. After the princess immediately apologizes for disbelieving in the existence of the Seraphim, even though they don't accept a helper. She has always felt their invisible presence, feeling it even at this moment. Alicia warned Sari that in the capital of Highland the festival of the sacred sword would soon begin, a festival in which he tries to find someone who is able to take the sacred sword and become the shepherd. Alicia invites him to take this test, returns the shepherd's crest to Sari, and leaves for her kingdom. After the princess leaves, the wise Seraphim feel that someone has invaded the village the Hayama sent to take the princess' life was on the scene, attacking the Seraphim, so Sari and Mikleo go to stop it. After an intense fight, the elder arrives on the scene to order that evil being to leave his village. Hayama decides to accept the order of the elder Seraphim, who is proving to be very powerful. Sari blames himself for Hayama showing up in the village after he brought a human. The elder says it's not his fault, as Achi is not such a safe place. Regardless of whether Sari had brought a human there, the evil creatures would appear at some point during the night. Story fears that the mysterious Hayama who appeared in the villages after the princess, so Sari accompanied by Mikleo heads to Later Lake, the water capital where the Holy Blade Festival that Alicia mentioned is being held. Upon arriving in the capital, Sari and Mikleo meet Rose, who comes to their rescue to help them attend the Sacred Blade Festival. With her help, Sari and Mikleo manage to enter the city without needing a pass. The capital is filled with malevolence, which causes McLeod to become physically weak and tired while resting in the midst of many people. Sari realizes that Hayama was watching them, so the duo begins to chase him. During the chase, Sari asks why Hayama is trying to take the princess' life. Then, the evil being says that he is not the princess' enemy, he was just interested in her. As long as he is close to the princess, he can enjoy many nice things. The festival then begins. Sari and McLeod notice that the Lady of the Lake is near the sword. She feels that the evil energy of the place is too high and that the shepherd should soon be born to eliminate this energy. After many nights have tried and failed, a dark energy begins to cover the place, and an infernal dark energy dragon appears and begins to attack everyone present. Sari runs to the sword as again assassins appeared to try to take Princess Alicia's life. The Lady of the Lake introduces herself to Sari as Layla and says that the only one who will be able to take this sword away is the shepherd. Sari touches the sword and a great glow appears, stopping time. Layla disappears, but her voice is in Sari's mind as he wields the sword. Sari's appearance changes and the sword gains fire attributes, allowing him to destroy the dragon and eliminate the evil energy from the environment. That's it. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and don't